Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And today, I'm 46 years old. It's my birthday, and it's a little surreal. I've been kind of emotional today. I don't know why. I've been thinking a lot about the fact that 30 years ago today, I turned 16, and it's so weird to me. Like, sometimes it feels like it was just yesterday. Sometimes it feels like it was 50 years ago, you know, and but, you know, then moments I'm listening to certain music and I'm like, oh my God, I remember driving around with my friends and, you know, smoking cigarettes and joking and, you know, just all of that. It's so weird to me that it's been 30 years since I was in high school and I was 16. And, you know, 16 is a big birthday. 16, 21, you know, 30, and then it's like, after that, 40, I guess, is kind of a big birthday. It's supposedly a big birthday, but after that, it's kind of like, there's not, I don't know, it's just, but every birthday probably should be really exciting, right? That you made it another, that you made it another year here, and that's where I'm kind of trying to focus today, is like, you know, look at where my life is today compared to where it was, I don't know, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, I have a drastically different life. And I have had moments in the last, you know, this isn't all just because of my sobriety. I get on here a lot and I talk about my sobriety and, you know, I talk about like what a wonderful life I have. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. I have an amazing life. I do. I have all of that. And I think a lot of times I talk about it in reference to my sobriety, right? And the dishwasher just kicked on in the background. The life of a YouTuber. But, you know, a lot of it is because of YouTube. A lot of it is because of my sobriety, but also a lot of it is because of just people in my life. You know, I've had, even though they're my exes today, I've had amazing boyfriends that I have spent wonderful times with, especially on my birthdays. And my husband today, you know, like, I am so happy to be with my husband each and every day. And, you know, like, I look back on my mom and my aunt and all my friends that I've had, and I have had one hell of an interesting life. So I was going to make a video today, and I was going to talk about, like, 46 things I learned by 46. I love when you read articles like that, and I actually wrote a blog post one time about that. So that was going to be what this video was about today. And I sat down with a pad, and I was over there by the computer, and I was, like, starting to jot stuff down, and I thought, you know, maybe I should just talk about the most important thing that I have learned since I have reached 46 years old. And I was thinking about it because there's a lot of things that I think are really important. You know, we aren't just one lesson in the world. For example, like, I feel like, you know, forgiveness is an action that helps us, not other people. I feel like I have learned that to live from compassion, kindness, love, and tolerance is a much better way, sometimes not easier, but better way to live, because it frees our soul and it allows us to find peace and serenity in our everyday lives. You know, I truly am a believer in righting your wrongs and cleaning up the wreckage of your past. I've learned so much. I've learned to take risks on a daily basis. I have learned that, you know, life is very, very short. I have learned that, you know, I've learned so many lessons. I easily could make 46 lessons I've learned. But the one lesson that keeps on repeating itself inside of my head, the one lesson that even allows me to be sitting here today on camera talking to you guys, is that do not wait. Like I say, life is very, very short. And, you know, when I wrote my book in 2014, and it was published in 2014, and I'm working on other books now, but when I wrote that book, you know, I wrote it in 3 weeks. I wrote a 250-page book or 220-page book or something like that in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, that was it. Boom, 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 boom. Every day I would sit down and I would write for like 9 hours a day. And it's not the greatest book in the entire world, but I'm very proud of it. I have a published book, you know, and that was my biggest pipe dream in my entire life. But I remember when it was over, and it was very much like that. I've heard Oprah say this to people on her show before. You know, they'll say like, oh, I accomplished my dream, now what should I do? And she said, now you must dream a bigger dream. And, you know, a lot of what I thought about at that time was, it was kind of like I was beating myself up a little bit, because I thought to myself, you could have written this book at 18, or 25, or 26, or 30. Why did you wait until 40 years old, or whatever it was, 4 years ago, so 42 years old to write this book? Why? Why did it have to happen then, you know? When YouTube came on and everybody was talking about YouTube, and I started watching YouTube with Chris Crocker, I thought a lot about having a channel. Fear kept me from having a channel. You know, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm afraid to be vulnerable on camera. I know you guys probably are like, really, Peter? But I was terrified. And even when I started my BookTube channel, 2 years ago, I was terrified to just get on and tell my truth. And if you go back and you watch those videos, it's a slow progression into me being who I am on camera today, because I had to get comfortable with that process. But when I look at my life as a whole, when I look back on my life, and I look back about, the football games I didn't go to in high school, and the school dances I never attended, and I look at the college campuses I never went to, and backpacking through Europe that several of my friends asked me to do that I didn't do, and I look at job opportunities that I didn't take, and moving opportunities that I didn't take, and moving, not movie, I wish, but like all these different opportunities that have come my way that I didn't take at that time, because I didn't have the confidence, honestly, that I have today in my life. And fear has always been such a driving force in my life. In recovery, we talk about 100 forms of fear. And, everything in my life that has not happened is because fear holds me back. And, I remember talking to my mom at the end of her life, and I've shared this on here before, that she said, when you look back on your life, it's not the things you did that you regret. It's the things you never tried or never did. And I think about that, and I think about all of these things I want to do, the places I want to travel to, the books I want to write, the movies I want to see. And this is just very, very silly, but like, I want to, I'm getting emotional because I'm thinking in my head about something else. I really want to read all the Harry Potter books and see all the movies. If you watch my BookTube channel, I talk about that a lot on there. But I also want to watch all the Star Wars movies. I've only seen the first one, and I saw it when it very first came out, so I was like 4 years old. And I haven't seen it since then. And so I want to watch all those movies. I want to participate in those things in life, And I'm getting kind of emotional in my head because I'm thinking about my uncle that just passed away. And I remember having a conversation with him at Thanksgiving, and I said something to him about watching some show, and he goes, no, I don't watch shows anymore that don't end with just one season. Something to that effect. And I said, why not, Uncle Dave? And he goes, and I don't read books that are part of series either. And he goes, because I don't want to not think that I'm going to be able to read the next one or see the next season. And I thought, it's like a really weird but realistic way to look at the world, that we never know if we're going to get to see the next part of the series of a movie or read the next book, And so you have to live in today, and you have to make the most of what your day is, and you have to consciously really think about a bucket list of what you want out of your life, And when I look at my life today, and I look at what I want to do with my life, if I'm going to be completely honest, 100% right here, I want to write and make YouTube videos and live in that moment and be able to just put all of my passion and everything into that, I would love to be in a movie someday or a television show, and I'd love to win an Oscar, but even that is not as important as just being able to participate in the process. I want to go around the world. I want to go to Tahiti, and I want to go to Bora Bora and the Maldives and Thailand, and I want to go with my husband. I want to experience those things with my husband, I want to be in Paris on New Year's Eve, and I want to go skiing at Christmas time. And these are things that I can do that aren't super expensive. They're things that I can do on a budget, and I can make happen in my life. My husband has taught me a very valuable lesson. Years ago, we would talk about traveling places. And I remember when we were talking about going to Ultra Music Festival, it was very expensive because it's expensive to be there for the week in Miami. And the tickets are expensive to go, and all this kind of, the flights and everything. But at that time we were driving, and I said, I just don't think that we can afford it. And he goes, well, what do you mean? And he goes, we just need to plan ahead. And I said, well, sure, like we can plan ahead, but even then we might not have the money for it. And he goes, even if we just put $20 a week in a savings account, you can make it happen. Anything you want to make happen in this world, you can make happen. I wish I had not waited until I was 44 years old to get on YouTube and start making YouTube videos. This right here is my #1 passion. I love getting on YouTube every day and making videos. And one of the things that pisses me off sometimes is YouTubers that make enough money to survive off YouTube. I'm not there. I wish I was. I'm not going to bullshit about it, but I'm not there, Maybe one day I will be. But that is like such a gift that you get to do something that you love every single day of your life, and survive on that, you know? And my dad, when I was growing up, always said to me, do what you love and the money will follow. And if the money doesn't follow, at least you're doing something that you love. And I believe that, I really do. You may have to work 2 or 3 jobs. I have done that at times to make it work, that you're doing something that you love passionately, but you make it work, you know? I look back on my life and I don't have a lot of regrets. I have a few. I'm not somebody that says, oh, I have no regrets. I don't live that way. There are some people that I wish I was nicer to. There are some circumstances I wish I hadn't put myself in the middle of. You know, but mostly when I look back on my life, the things I regret are exactly what my mom was talking about. Missed opportunities. Things I didn't go to participate in, trips I didn't want to go on, or dinners I didn't want to go to, or birthday parties that I didn't want to go to. And social anxiety and fear kept me from doing that a lot. I am no longer today willing to allow fear and social anxiety to creep into my life and allow me from having the most amazing life that I possibly can. If I could give you one piece of advice based on what I have learned in my life, if there are things you want to do, do them. Do them now. Because you don't know how much time you have. You don't know how long you're going to be here. My mother died at 64. My uncle died in his 80s. Some people die, you know, my aunt died in her 80s. Some people die in their 40s. Some people die in their 20s. You never know how much time you have. Make your dreams possible now. Life is truly a gift. And for most of us out there that aren't suffering some forms of tragedy on a daily basis, and this is one of the reasons why I go and I watch those TED Talks a lot, because a lot of times on TED Talks, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a whole channel of them, and a lot of times you see people that have faced such adversity in their life, such tragedy, and yet they've turned it into the life of their dreams. They've come out of this adversity and they have just had these amazing lives, and they inspire me and they motivate me when I get down and I'm stuck and I'm struggling to say, this is nothing compared to those people that came out of what they came out of. If they did it, you can do it on a much smaller level. And realize, Peter, that life is truly a gift, and make the most of it. Don't squander it. And so I try to remember that, and today I try to keep in my head all of those things I want to do, and I try to put them into action. Because I don't want to look back 20 years from now, I hope I'm still here, 20 years from now on the things that I haven't done in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look back and go, well, you said you were writing those books, but you never finished them. You said you wanted to go to Tahiti, but you never did. You know, you said you wanted to go to Las Vegas for your wedding anniversary, but you are. So anyway, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. I'm going out to dinner tonight with my husband, my best friend Tanya, and her husband, and my sponsor, and I'm real excited about it. So anyway, I love you guys, and I probably will do more of a video of life lessons that I've learned through the years, but I didn't want to just do it today. I wanted to talk about one lesson that I have learned the most, and that is, especially on days like your birthday, when you look back on your life, think to yourself, what are the things I wish I had done that I didn't do? And what are the things right now that I want to do? And do them. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.